2022 CR 2514, State of Texas versus Deja Rosette Garcia. And are you Ms. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. A plea was entered on May 19th to count one. Count two was waived without objection. The defendant applied for deferred adjudication. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find her guilty. According to the plea, well, outside the plea bargaining agreement, there was a no contact request for Roseanne Garcia Heisig and the grandmother, and a mild evaluation. All right, this is what the court is going to do. 3 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine probated, 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if she provides proof of a COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring the COVID vaccination, but if she's completed it, then 40 of those hours will be waived. Parenting classes. And once she completes the parenting classes, the remainder of the community service hours will be waived. No harmful or injurious contact with Roseanne Garcia. MIC evaluation. Follow the recommendations of the MIC evaluation. If you're drug tested today, what are your results going to be?
They'll be clean. I smoked weed like a week ago, so it might just come out dirty for that. Other than that, I've been clean.
All right, outpatient treatment with probation. And yes, probation, if you need to do a TAP, you can do a TAP. There should be field visits 2 times per month, random. There should be no unsupervised contact with minors. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So if for any reason you're not allowed or cannot do Zoom, you'll have to report in person. Proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And there's to be random UAs. Ms. Garcia, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll go off the record. Good luck to you, Ms. Garcia. 2022 CR 2514, State versus Deja Garcia. Could I have parties announced?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Teresa Max Vasquez for the defense, Judge.
And are you Deja Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Garcia, did you review the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Deja Rosette
Yes.
Garcia, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 2514 for the offense of attempting to take a weapon from an officer on May 26, 2022 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
On violation of condition number 2 on or about the 31st day of March 2025 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Deja Rosette Garcia did then and there admit to consuming alcoholic beverages in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
And then we waive and abandon the remainders, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There's not, Your Honor. The state is asking that you grant the state's motion, revoke the defendant's community supervision, adjudicate her guilty, and sentence her to 2 years in the state jail facility. She was placed on deferred adjudication back in May of 2022 and was a participant of felony drug court until this recent MTR where she was not in compliance with the program. And so that's why we're asking for the 2 years in the state jail facility.
All right, what are you requesting?
Yes, Judge, we are asking the court to consider the recommendation of the probation officer. We did confer with probation, and their recommendation, as far as I understand it, is to reinstate her with the DDRF. It seems, as far as I understand, Judge, after talking to my client and reading the report, is that she did well on DDRF. She did not do well on safety, is what I understand. So I've had communications with her. I have an understanding, a little better understanding of DDRF and the difference. And she does feel that she benefited more with the dual. That includes the mental health
But
component.
didn't felony drug court have her on the dual track?
They moved her. That's a good question, Judge. I believe they moved her from the DDRF to straight safe P is what I understand. That's where she
Didn't want to go to safety.
went astray, I believe.
So you didn't want to go to safety?
I just signed on it because just wasn't in the right state.
You want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Deja Garcia.
So felony drug court, didn't they have you in their dual diagnosis program?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so where are you saying you went off track?
Right, a few months after I got out of DDRF, I got off track again, and that's when they decided to have me sign the safety.
Okay.
It was about after 4 or 5 months.
Did you go to safety?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you successfully complete it?
Yes.
All right, so then you get out of safety, then what happens?
I slipped up and I drank like on 2 of the violations.
So why did you drink?
I think just because I was kind of overwhelmed when I got out of that facility. So I'm not trying to make it an excuse, but I was just overwhelmed.
All right, so to the court, and if I'm wrong, let me know. There seems that there's more than just this being overwhelmed, because I used to be an attorney in felony drug court. And when you're released from safety or some kind of inpatient treatment, they don't just let you fly free because they know you're going from a lockdown facility to coming out. So they really keep track of you until you're on the right path. Then they let you be freer with your time. So I'm not understanding. So you leave safety and you start drinking.
Yeah, ma'am. A few weeks after I get out, I drank like once or twice.
Mhm.
I just had a lot of.
Can I say something, Judge?
Sure.
Okay. So I spent a little time with her, and I don't know if maybe she's not remembering, or the communications we had, we went over the excuses and how just give them the facts and tell them what happened. What I see in this is, I asked her, how did it happen? What happened? What was your plan? What was the goal? How did it work after you got off? You got out just like you just went through with her. What she hasn't said was that she tried to enroll in school. She moved back home, I believe, correct, with your parents. And so that's where we stopped. I think it was a few months ago.
Well, here's the thing. When you move back in with your parents, the felony drug court approved you moving back in with your parents?
No, ma'am.
All right. See, that's part of the problem because felony drug court has rules where you can stay, what you can be doing. When she got out of inpatient treatment at Safety has an aftercare program, which is what she's supposed to be in, and felony drug court would still keep track of her. So this thing right now, what she's doing, she's not being 100% honest with me. It sounds as though she didn't want to do safety, but they made her do safety. Then she's released from safety and she's in aftercare and she don't want to do that. So she starts doing her own thing. Felony drug court has a dual diagnosis program. And if she had mental health issues that were happening, they would address those. But if it's somebody who wants to do whatever they want to do, drug court is just not going to let you do whatever you want to do.
Correct. And that's why we are asking the court to consider what the probation office has recommended, which was to put her back in the DDR program, Judge, because I agree. I mean, I think she did better in that treatment program versus what we're talking about here on the safety and handing it over to her. she wants that. She wants that reinforcement of the
But she
mental
was
health
doing the-
component.
But here's the thing, DDRF is in inpatient treatment.
She understands that.
I don't think she's a good candidate for probation. I mean, I don't think she's a good candidate. Felony drug court is a very good program.
Yes.
If you follow the rules, but sometimes people don't want to follow the rules. I don't think she's a good candidate for probation.
I believe this was only as far as I know, Judge, from what I can speak to is the report, this was the only violation that we have on her, and it was right after safety.
But see, here's the thing about that. Felony drug court, when people come back to this court from felony drug court, yeah, that's the only violation they have because felony drug court is sending them back. But when you're in felony drug court, they don't automatically kick people out of the program. They go through different steps, graduated sanctions. So they have technically, probably in felony drug court, she could have probably had 10 motions to revoke by now, but they don't do that. And I'm sure there's a reason why they did not approve her living with her parents. And part of that reason is because of the drinking. And they knew that they had probably already tried that before living at home and they told her no, but she wanted to do what she wanted to do. So now we're here and I don't think she's a good candidate for probation.
I just feel, Judge, that the element of putting her straight into the state jail felony detention center, it just squashes the whole program of rehabilitation. I think she agrees. If it's going to mean more time, Judge, I think that the benefit would be there for her to do the mental health component. She clearly knows that she needs that help, as far as I know, and she's being fully, as far as I know,
Yeah.
you know.
But felony drug court was giving her that. She didn't want it. She wanted to do her own thing. And I don't think she's a good candidate.
Okay, I understand.
All right. The court is going to grant the motion, find you guilty, revoke. Now, the next question is, you're asking for 2 years?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And state, why are you asking for 2 years?
Judge, she was in the felony drug court program. They did do graduated sanctions with her that included the DGRF and SafeP. And she just still could not comply with the terms of probation. So that's why we're asking for what we're asking.
All right. And what are you requesting?
Credit for time served. I believe she's already been there a little over 12 months. Doing the program, Judge, that's already 12 months that she's been in custody, I believe.
All right. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility. Counsel give you credit for any time served. And I'll give her credit for any successful inpatient treatment. If she successfully completed DDRF, then she'll receive credit for that. All right, good luck to you when you're released from custody. If you're still trying to find help with your mental health or maintaining your sobriety, if I'm still here, you come back here, I'll pick up the phone and call for a placement for you. All right, good luck to you.